I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.
If you've been subbing to the channel for the past couple of weeks, I want to say thank you guys for so much for the support. Honestly, I try to keep trading very simple. I try to put it where I can teach a class, because I actually used to teach a class in a behavioral nurse when I was one. I used to teach kids how to understand the market and everything. And honestly, it took a long time. It took a long time to get to a point where I could teach kids. And then I started YouTube around 6 years ago. And finally, I think this channel is finally into a breaking point. I think this channel is probably going to go somewhere really far. So I do want to say thank you guys for the supports, and honestly, thank you guys for the likes and the comments, even the hateful comments. I don't even really care. But what a day. And there's actually something I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about all the new paid members that did join the past probably 3 weeks. It was honestly insane. Paid membership on the Discord side went up around probably 380%, which is nuts. But let me tell you something. The plays are finally starting to play out, and I really want to talk about one of our plays, which is Google. I did post Google. I'll show you the dates too. But now I can post and talk about the plays because, it's already over. We're done playing it. It's not financial advice, so that, it's more of an educational thing. But let's actually get into this, because we are going to talk about the market. And for the past couple of weeks, I did talk about how to, kind of realize what's going on in the market. For probably, not even lying, probably 3 weeks, I was telling you guys, watch out, the SP500 is consolidating. When this does break the 10 and 20, you could have a high chance of consolidation. That was last Friday. Last Friday, I told you guys in a video, be very careful. We could have a bounce in between the 10 and 20 simple moving average, and that's what we're getting right now. And then actually now it's Tuesday. I told you guys we could not drop, probably maybe not Monday or Tuesday. Now we're coming into Wednesday. And then last night's video, I talked about how the Mega 7 were going to sell off, and semiconductors are going to be the ones that are probably going to crack the top on probably Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday session of this week. Now, if it doesn't happen, it's whatever, but the concept of that someone can tell you this over a video and hit every single video and actually break it down to you is way better than someone telling you, look at my SP500 chart for 45 minutes like most YouTubers do. So let's actually get into this, because I want to talk about one of the plays that we are doing in the Discord. This is what it's like to join membership. So when you guys do join membership, I want to show you guys really quick. This is what it looks like. I post a simple chart. When I see a great opportunity and the market is coming into a break, I did post this on Google A or C, whichever you want to say. Watch out. It's hitting that 50 simple moving average. It's going to reject. Why is it going to reject? It's because we're sitting here about to reject off the SP500. So be very careful, because when this does reject, it's going to get murdered. Now, I didn't think earnings was going to be bad, but the concept of if we did drop in Google just a little bit, like, say if we did drop a little bit, down maybe to the 100 simple moving average, this green line, and we bounce with earnings, whatever, it'd probably go back up to the 50 simple moving average. And that's where I come into this channel and I try to educate you guys about dates and strike prices, because no other YouTuber does this. It honestly made me so mad. So mad. And that's why I started YouTube, because all these other YouTubers, they just feed you stupid stuff, guys. They literally just look at this news article. When you watch YouTubers tonight, watch what they do. Well, this is why Google dropped, because they had an incredible earnings, but look at this, guys. This is why they jumped. This is why they just jumped so hard, because Jimmy bought into Google. That's why they dumped. They'll come up with the most ridiculous reason why. I could tell you why Google didn't rally, because it broke the 100 simple moving average and it was struggling to get above it. And then you also had Tesla having a bad earnings. You also had, a lot of the Mega 7 rejecting from their tops, like I was pointing out. Now watch what happens this week when semiconductors reject, like the last video I talked about. So you guys subbing to the channel are going to learn a lot, but let's talk about this play. Google was at the 50 simple moving average. I said, hey guys, we're at 710. We're at a really high in the triple Qs. That's going to reject. A lot of the other Mega 7 are going to reject. Don't pass up this 50 simple moving average rejection at the Google. Gave you guys the listings, which strike price, what you should look at. If you want to go look at my call, here's the timestamp. 7:15, 11:30 a.m. timestamped. Now let's talk about this drop that we have right now in Google. So this is what it's like to join paid membership. I keep it simple. I keep it tried to, I break it down in chat how to understand this throughout the videos too. So right now, all those paid memberships are cashing out right now on the paid side of the channel. Literally, the gains pay for membership. It legitimately does. I think people are finally waking up to actually seeing how trading is. Because honestly, it's really not hard to trade. If you learn your simple moving averages and you learn the market as a whole, it's really easy to trade. But what are we going to do in the market, right? This is why just pay attention to the rest of the video, trust me. Because this is going to be super important. I do have 4 more plays playing right now. Half of them are already done anyway. But let's talk about this because rotation in the market is key. I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest ways I make a killing. Like last June, I made 380% my count just rotating through the Mega 7, just like this, catching their drops from the rejections of the simple moving averages. But you need to understand you're trading through the market, you need to understand the market's not just designed to move a stock by itself. When you watch those YouTubers and they're like, they're the top 10 stocks to buy. Yeah, those guys suck. There's no top 10 stocks to buy. That's not how trading works, Jimmy. You need to understand when you're trading this market, you have NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google A, Google C, Amazon, Meta, AVGO, Tesla, Berkman. This is what it's like. This is the total equal weight of all the indexes added into one picture. 40% of the market, 480 companies on the, as a total, exposure, like average wise, are small cap. But really only 25% companies control the whole entire market. And that's what it's like in the SP500. This is what it's like in the, look at this. Here's the Nasdaq 100. They control over 60%, 65%. Those Mega 7 companies and those semiconductors. Look at the triple Qs. It's even smaller. So a lot of people are going to say, well, earnings was really good in Google, but Google's just, Google. Something happened. This is what it says off of Google. Because I researched it off of Google. That's what they're going to do tonight to you guys. Legitimately. But let's actually break it down. Let's actually look at it really quick. So Google broke its 100 simple moving average. I was watching it today, and what happened was Google was trying to push. It was bouncing. It was moving pretty hard, not going to lie. There was a lot of volume. It was bouncing. It kept on hitting. Right when it hit that 10 and 20 simple moving average, it just broke. It literally broke, went down past the 100 simple moving average, and it was just fighting and fighting, trying to get above that 100 simple moving average. And eventually, the volume started to die off. The bears started taking control, and now we're at a lower level. Could there still be a chance it pumped tonight? It could. I've seen some crazy stuff in my years of trading. But what I'm trying to point out is the market's giving out on their tops. And let's actually go through it because this is going to be tied into the last episode. So you can see how Google is breaking its 100 simple moving average. Let's just run through the other Mega 7 really quick. Now, I talk about the 10 and 20 simple moving average, and I tell you guys, that can tell you a lot on one of these Mega 7 start breaking their tops. Apple still is sitting legitly on the 10 simple moving average. Let me show you what it looks like when you do break your 10 simple moving average. Here's Meta. So Meta was just hugging its 10 simple moving average, and it finally broke. That's why these SMA levels are super important. This is what Apple's doing, sitting right on that 10 simple moving average. It's about to break. So Apple's top is about to break, but it's going to probably be last in the rotation. That's why I have 5 plays posted in the Discord, and they're all going to play out. And my win ratio is going to be 22 out of 1 loss of the year. Yes, I'm a 90% successful trading, trader. I'm in the high 90s, trading. It's really not hard to trade. You just got to do the proper dates. Stop day trading, guys. It's so dumb to day trade. But Apple will come into a break on that 10 simple moving average. What is Meta doing, right? Meta is breaking its 10 simple moving average. When it breaks that 20 simple moving average, all hell is going to break loose in Meta. Bears are going to take full control. Let's look at NVIDIA really quick. NVIDIA actually had a nice pump today. A lot of the Discord members on the paid side, they actually got in at this top. Where's that 50 simple moving average really quick? This is why we got into the 50 simple moving average. It's just like a Google. Google came up right here, rejected off their the 50 simple moving average, and then Google came up here a couple days ago at the 50 simple moving average again, and then had a hard rejection. It didn't even need earnings to honestly drop, but just like in what NVDA did. NVDA went up to the 50, had a rejection. NVDA is back up at the 50 right now, and watch for that rejection off the 50. So a lot of these Mega 7 are breaking their tops, and I'm going to show you something in a second too. So make sure you're paying attention right after the Mega 7. But when this 50 simple moving average breaks on the SP500 or the NVDA, it's going to crack that top. Google's already cracking its top. Here's NVDA. Let me show you something. Here's NVDA. This is what it looks like. This is what it's going to look like on NVDA. Sorry, it's really dark in my room. So here's like NVDA. This is NVDA's 50 simple moving average also. So on NVDA, it came up to its 50 simple moving average and had a hard rejection. Let me see if I can just turn this up a little higher, because I know that was probably hard to see, honestly. Let's go to white. Let's go to thick. Thick. Yeah, so look right here. Here's the 50 simple moving average. Let's just raise it up a little bit more. This is pretty much what NVDA's 50 simple moving average looks like on its chart too. You can see how Google had its rejection off the 50. NVDA is going to do the exact same thing. It's going to melt. So a lot of these Mega 7 are about to reject. Microsoft is already breaking its 10 simple moving average. It's going to be so easy to break that 20 simple moving average. Also on Amazon, it's breaking its 10 and 20 simple moving average. It already rejected off its 50. Let's look at PLTR. And by the way, we do have a PLTR play also going in the Discord. Keep on playing that, everyone. I posted that play actually right here. I got a recording. I don't want to show it. But yeah, we got into shorts right here in PLTR. We're about 8% up also. But that's going to break. That's actually going to go lower. When we do get the rejection in the triple Qs and the indexes, this will go lower. So keep on holding on to that one. Also on AVGO. AVGO is at its 50 also. It's kind of weird how all these move together, right? This is what simple moving averages show you. How NVDA is right above its 50. How Google rejected off of its 50, this yellow line. And now you have AVGO at its 50. What do you guys think you should do tomorrow? Yeah, not giving you financial advice, just trying to educate you. But when this does reject, it's going to break that 10 and 20, head down to the 200 off its 50, just like Google. And then also Tesla. Tesla had a nice sell-off actually after close. It is around 358. I knew this sucker was going to go lower. I hate trading Tesla, honestly. I don't like posting trades in Tesla. But I knew this was going to go lower into the next leg lower. The top is breaking on a lot of these Mega 7. Netflix is still floating. It will go lower. And then Walmart also is trying to barely stay alive. Now, why do we just go over the Mega 7, right? Because guys, you have to understand, you can't just look at the market in one thing. Now we need to go over the semiconductors, the other, 1/3 of the market. There is a reason why on this channel. It's not to look cool. It's to show you the entire market from the top of the red to the bottom of the yellow. Now you can add a little bit more to them if you want. I don't really want to. But let's look at AMD. AMD is making lower lows. This will come into a break because it's part of the triple Qs. So when the triple Qs does break its top, when it doesn't just float here forever, but when it does break its top and starts heading down to that 100 simple moving average, you will see, that's EMA. You will see AMD start to drop. So when Google does head down, when the triple Qs does head down to that 100 simple moving average, since AMD is a part of the triple Qs, you will see AMD start triggering down to its 100 simple moving average. I know how it's crazy. Everything moves together, but no one tells you this until it's too late. But yeah, watch out for 378. And man, contracts are so expensive. I almost thought about shorting AMD. But here's the bigger picture, guys. This is what we're going to get into. So I showed you the Mega 7 are breaking. I told you last video they were going to start breaking. But the ones that are coming up behind the Mega 7 to actually start pushing these indexes, like the SP500 that we've been talking about, dropping down to the 100 simple moving average, what's going to start doing this is, as you're having the Mega 7 break, you're going to start having the semiconductors rejecting also, which is going to allow the indexes to start dropping and selling lower. So what are the indexes doing, right? Well, for the new viewers in the back, let's kind of back this up a little bit, because I know Jimmy has to hear this every day, and I feel like I talk to Jimmy on the computer every day on the screen because I'm going insane. I feel like this is how you read a 10 and 20 simple moving average. 10 and 20 simple moving average isn't just a simple moving average. It tells you who's in control. It also tells you if you're in a bear or in a bull trend, which is insanely powerful, honestly. This is going to be the day SMA. Just default on the day, honestly, if you're trading. But when you're the 10, this white line is under the 20 SMA. That means the bears are in control. You see how we get the rejection off the 10, off the 10, off the 20 sometimes, off the 10, off the 10, and we go lower, and we go lower, and we go lower. Now, when you're in a bull trend and you're above the 10 simple moving average, you will find support, sometimes drop to the 20, find support. But here's the thing with semiconductors, okay? Semiconductors are they're in their bear trend. This is what it looks like. The 20 will be under. You'll get a rejection at the 10, sometimes at the 20, rejection. That's what semiconductors are doing right now. Look at Intel. It's hitting its 10. It could push to the 20. You never know. But high rejection zone on Intel. If it rejects, where do you think it's going to go? If it rejects, it's most likely going to go down to its 100 simple moving average. What are the indexes about to do? 100 simple moving average. I know how everything's tied together. It's crazy. It blows your mind when a YouTuber actually explains it right. So watch out for Intel breaking off its 10 simple moving average and going for its next leg lower. And to be honest, guys, semiconductors are most likely going to break that 100 simple moving average. TSM at the 10 simple moving average, also at its 50. What happened last time on its 50 on Google? We were rejected multiple times at the 50. What do you think Intel is going to do since it's at its TSM, since it's at its 50 and 10 simple moving average? It's most likely going to reject. So if it rejects and breaks out 100, it's definitely going lower. SMH is also, what do you know, is at its 50 simple moving average and 10. I feel like I'm repeating myself and going crazy. But yeah, it's literally this easy to trade, guys. This rejection is most likely going to send it to the 100 simple moving average. And SNDK had a nice pump a couple of days, but what do you know? What it's doing, it hit its 10 simple moving average. It's most likely going to reject and head down to the 100 simple moving average. MU, oh look, it went up to its 20 simple moving average. Sometimes you go to your 20 simple moving average. Look for this rejection. It's definitely going to break that 10 and 50 and head down to the 100 simple moving average. Why would it do that though? Because it's part of the triple Qs. The Mega 7 are giving out, heading down to its 100 simple moving average. What do you think MU is going to do? Because it's 5% of the triple Qs now, which is nuts. Head down to its 100 simple moving average. WDC, what do you know? 50 simple moving average. It's going to reject and head down to its 100 simple moving average. WDC, STX, also, what do you know? It's hitting its 20 simple moving average. Oh my gosh, it broke out. It's automatically bullish. Just, full port, not financial advice, educational purposes only. Don't do it. I was joking in Minecraft. But it's going to have a rejection off that 20, break that 50, get under the 10, and then the selling pressure is going to come in for STX, and you will see the 100 simple moving average. Now, here's the thing with the semiconductors, though. There's really not that much room to drop to the 100 simple moving average. So when we do drop from the highs off these semiconductors, we're rejecting from an extreme high off the SP500. That will push all those semiconductors past their 100 simple moving average. They will start dropping down to their 200 simple moving average. So be very careful, because I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. Let me go back to semiconductors. Let me turn on the 200 simple moving average. You can see. So let me back it up one more time. When the SP500 breaks to its 100 simple moving average, why? Because let me just back it up even more, because I want you to understand the full picture. When the Mega 7 start breaking down, which they are, they're breaking off their 50s, simple moving average, some of them are starting to crack their 10. So when they start to sell off, what that's going to do is that's going to be a chain reaction, because semiconductors are about to make a huge rejection off their 10 or 20 simple moving average. So with the Mega 7 rejecting, breaking their 10 and 20 simple moving average, or rejecting off the 50, selling off really hard, semiconductors are going to come in behind them, and they're going to start selling off. They're definitely going to break that 100 simple moving average, and they're going to go down to their 200. So you're going to have the Mega 7 selling off. You're going to have semiconductors coming in from behind them, selling off, pushing them. And what is that going to do to your indexes? That is going to start selling them off down to the 100 simple moving average. The SP500 is kind of unique though. The reason why, it's just starting. Now, since the SP500 is just starting and it's the biggest index in the market, since it's just starting, the triple Qs have already started their journey. You will most likely see the triple Qs drop down to their 200 simple moving average, just like semiconductors, just like the Mega 7. Well, they're probably going to break their 200 simple moving average, to be honest, but you get what I'm saying is a lot of the Mega 7 are going down to the 200, breaking their 100. Semiconductors are doing it also. Don't be surprised if you get to see a flush to the 100 simple moving average, and the triple Qs, the NAS 100, the regular NAS to the 200 simple moving average. That's all you got to do. Legitly. That's all you have to do. I log on probably 2 times a day to look at my charts because I already know what the market's going to do. You can do that too if you actually put your pride aside, come join membership, start learning with me. And to be honest, I probably helped around 800 to 1,200 people throughout the Discord. And I'm not going to lie, 80% of you just don't get it. You never will. 10% of you will get it, and you put your pride in before my trading, or you're just one of those people that my trading is always better. Dude, that's fine. You won't ever get it. You can try to get it a different way. There's multiple ways. And then you have another 10%. That 10% will usually get it. It takes a while, but if you keep on watching these videos, you keep on just being interactive with this account on this YouTube channel, I promise you, over time, you will start to see things that a lot of other YouTubers, they won't tell you.